Okay, so this is the complete process. Like purchasing info record is mandatory for the vendor consignment process. Okay, so because the reason why, because the price and tax information we are entering into the purchasing info record. So material info record and purchase info record both are same. Okay, so what is the transaction code? It is ME11. Right? And purchase order. The next process is we can create a purchase requisition. If it is required, we can create the purchase requisition. If it is not required, we can create directly purchase order also. Okay. So PO creation with item category K, because we are doing the vendor consignment process to differentiate the standard purchase order and vendor consignment process. We are entering that item category K. Okay. So here, if you, as we discussed here, there is no price information here, no tax information here, because okay, the purchase order, whatever we are receiving the stock, okay, it is not with my ownership. It is like still we are discussing with vendor consignment process only, right? Vendor ownership only. The stock, even we receive the stock, it is a ownership only. So that's the reason we are not entering any price information and tax information in the PO. Okay. And you can ask me question about that, how we are paying amount to the vendor, because this is the agreement. We are already created purchase info record, as we discussed with our vendor. We are already entered the price and tax information with the consignment process. Okay, so while you creating the purchasing info record, okay, you cannot create the standard purchase info record, because I just need to be intimate that okay, the system boss, this is not a standard info record. This is a vendor consignment info record. So here we have the option like info category. Okay, info category should be consignment. Okay, vendor info category should be consignment. Okay, so when I selected this consignment, when I select this consignment, okay, the system will understood that okay, this is the consignment info record. Okay, so this info record will be using only for the consignment process. Okay. Further, whatever it is, because might be the same vendor, same material I can use for the standard purchase info record or material consignment info record. Okay. Right. So what do you mean by that? What is this? What actually? Why we need to select this vendor consignment?
Because we'll withdraw only when the purchase has happened.
Sorry, come again. Sorry.
Because the product is withdrawn when the purchase has happened.
Yeah. So here, why it is required info category? Because the same vendor, same material, I can go ahead with the standard purchasing also. Okay. Right. I can go with the standard purchasing, and I can go ahead with the vendor consignment process also, because might be the vendor is saying that okay, if I want to keep the stock, because you are purchasing lot of stock at a time, so I can give some less price or something like discount or something. Okay, if I go with the standard, okay, you're ordering something, might be you order today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so there is no guarantee. Maybe you're planning, but might be when you are planning, you don't know. But when it is vendor consignment process, okay, so that is agreement like okay, we are keeping lump sum amount of the stock, right? It may be 10,000, 20,000 like that, right? So there might be prices will be different when we are using the vendor consignment process, standard process, subcontracting process, right? So that's why to differentiate the standard info record and consignment info record, we are using the info category consignment.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the one very important, and the price information, tax information very important in the purchase info record. Okay, because if you're missing here, if you not enter the price, if you not enter the tax information, then what will be happen while your settlement happen? Okay, the system will pick the price from here and the tax information from here. Okay, if it is missing, then the system will not be post anything, because there is no proper information. Okay, so the settlement is connected to purchase info record. Okay, the price so generally in the standard P2P cycle, generally the price will be picking from the PO and stock validation from the goods receipt, right? But here in this case, the settlement will be happen while settlement, the price will be taken from the purchase info record, and the quantity will be taken from the quantity where it is validating
Goods
issue, because we are paying for 10 quantity only, not for 1000 quantity. Correct? So while issuing the stock, while consumption the stock, while we, okay, only those stock will be considered, right? So now you understand, right, what is the difference between standard purchase order and consignment process, right?
Yes.
So there is a lot of difference. It is there. The price we are picking from info record here, but in the standard P2P cycle we are getting the price from the PO. And while coming to the settlement for inventory stock, the quantity stock, where we are just checking that, we are checking from the GR stock. Okay, so how much we are received generally in the standard, but in the consignment process we are checking from
Goods
issue or when we are withdraw the stock to our own stock, right? Okay. So this is the one process. Okay. So there is a two ways we can do. Okay, suppose so I'm just repeating again 4. Okay, but the 4 we can do in the two ways. Okay, either we can do goods issue to cost center, or okay, transferring the stock to our own stock. Transferring stock to our own stock. That means, so it might be the period it is completed, transferring stock to our own stock. Okay, so what will be happen here? Might be the vendor is saying that okay, it's almost 2 months or 3 months, so the stock it is already with you, but you are not doing anything payments, or you are not doing any withdrawals. So whatever the remaining stock it is there, okay, please take into your ownership stock, because as per our validation, the 2 months or 3 months it is over. Okay, either you need to pay amount or you return the stock to our own stock. Okay, so in that case, what will be happen? Maybe my company has taken decision. Okay, I will take to my own stock. Okay, that means the ownership will be converted to my own stock. Okay, so in that case, the moment type is 411K. Okay, so vendor consignment stock to our own stock. Okay, so here we are directly consuming. Here we are directly consuming, but here the agreement is completed. Okay, client is agreed that okay, we are ready to take the complete stock. Okay, so in that case, what we will do? We will take the 411K and we will be taking all the stock into my own stock. Okay, so in this case, again, the settlement will be happen. If suppose I did for 1000 quantity, I did for 1000 quantity. Okay, then settlement also will be happen for the 1000 quantity. So what is the difference here? The above and below. The above and below, what is the difference here?
Settlement is done for 1000 quantity.
Okay, that's okay. If I did only for 100, I can do only for 100. That's okay. But what is the difference between the transferring the stock to our own stock and goods issue to cost center?
Like in 1000 quantity, only for 20 quantity we are taking the settlement. Here we are transferring the whole stock into our
okay, let's say I just transfer only 100 quantity. Let's assume. Okay, in that case, what is the difference? So leave it about the quantity. I just need info. I just need what is the difference between these two, and this one and this one.
Here we are transferring all the stock to our responsibility. Like we consider it as our own stock. We are buying it initially only.
Okay, so here the point is, okay, so this is happening consumption. This is happening consumption. That means even if it is the ownership, it is changed. Okay, But here, still the stock will not come to my own stock. So the stock will not come to my store location. My store location, right? Because I'm directly consuming. What is the consumption? If suppose my finance department are asking, okay, I just given to finance department, so it is not in my store. It is already moved to some other department, or it may be it's moved to the production department, whatever it may be, right? But in this case, it will be come to my own stock. That means store location is transferred. Maybe it is not immediately requirement. It is not my immediately requirement, but due to my vendor is saying that he cannot wait for a long time, I'm just transferring the stock to my own stock, right? So in this case, in my store, I can see my stock, but in this time, I cannot see the stock because it's already consumed. We already used. Okay.
So here it is direct consumption whenever it is
this is
required.
direct consumption, and here it is my own stock. It is moved. Okay. So in this case, what will be happen? I can see stock in my store location with my ownership, right? Right. So generally, when it will be happen, when I can see stock in my store location, generally in the P2P process, when goods received from the vendor, generally in the normal P2P process, I can see stock in my store location, right? But here, when I'm transferring the stock from the consumer stock to our own stock, okay, so I can put here transferring consumer stock to our own stock. Consumer stock to our own stock, then I can see in my store location. Okay, clear? Is it clear or any doubts here?
Okay, nothing. Okay, this will be direct consumption, and this will be.
So I'll tell you one box it is. Okay, suppose let's take one simple way. Okay, so this is the my store location. Okay, now there is my store location, but I just allotted some place to the. I just change the color, okay? Or I will put blank. Okay, so this is the vendor consignment process, consignment stock. Okay, I'll put like consignment stock here. Okay, this is the consignment stock. Okay, and here it is my own. This is like my own stock. Okay, so there is two stocks are there. Let's assume that this is the one stock it is there. I'll just put this in the different color. This is my store location stock. Okay, that means own stock. Okay, and if you see here, this is the. I can put here. I'll just to change this to order. Okay. This is entire my store location. Okay, raw material store location. Let's say the raw material store location. Okay, so this is raw material store location. So this entire store location I just divided like okay. Here I have the own stock and it is my consumer stock. Okay. Or we can say like if I just added the 3 parts like okay, 2 parts I just divided like 2 parts. One part it is for the consumer stock, one part it is I divided 2 parts. Okay, one stock is for the consumer stock and one part is my own stock it is there. Now in this case, okay, there is a department here in the outside. So there is a like okay, so let's say this is something which is like a production department, okay? Or maybe it's something which is like a warehouse department or production. Okay, not warehouse, production department, or it may be HR department or admin department, whatever it may be, it's department. Okay. Now out of this one, if I just see that 1,000 quantities there here. I have 1,000 quantities there. Okay. There's 1,000 quantities there now here. Okay. Now suppose, let's say, I just put something stock here also, my own stock, something which I have 200 quantity. This is something which I already have the stock. This is I already have stock, and this is my own consumer stock here. Okay. This is a consumer stock, and this is my own stock, and this is the production department. Now, I got some requirement from here. Okay. I'm just my department, they're asking about that. Okay, I need some products which is like for production purpose. Okay, so I just transfer the 10 quantity here. Okay, then how much stock it is there in the consumer stock? Okay, 990. Okay, if suppose I transfer some stock to my own stock because I just need to sell to the customer. Okay, so first I'm planning to I'm just planning to move to the stock to my own stock. Then I will be plan to dispatch to the customer. Okay. So suppose I'm just adding the stock plus here some 100 quantity I'm just added here. Okay. So then it is like 890. Right. So 10 here and 100 here. Okay. So when it is my own stock, store location stock, then it is like 411K. Okay. When I'm just doing some production department, okay, if it is a production department, like it is just 261K. Okay, if it is cost center, suppose let's say, or maybe I'm just putting like HR department, okay, then it is a 201K. Okay, so this is some production order purpose. Okay, some production order purpose I'm just consuming. Okay, so when it is production order, maybe it is different, 261, and if it's something HR department, finance department, or some cost centers like, okay, so basically how we can say this is the cost center. Okay, and this is for the some order. This is for some order purpose. Okay, some production
these
order
movement codes are given initially, or
yeah, while transferring the stock. So while we are doing this one right here, okay, in the, when you are doing here, this is the goods issue. This process is goods issue.
So these 261, 201, 101, 411 are predefined movement codes?
Yeah, it's a standard, predefined.
Okay.
You cannot change that. Okay, maybe if you want, you can customize that. Okay, but the customization always it should be like starting with 9 series. Okay, so whenever you just find something 9 series movement type, that are customized, not standard. Okay, if in your client, if you see that 911, 912, 913, 914, like, okay, in that case, that is the like customized one. It's not standard. Okay, maybe client they are looking into some different process. That's why they created movement types. Okay, but it is 261, 101, 561, 600, something like it is all standard only. Okay.
So for all this, do we have a standard document to remember these movements?
Yeah, once you started practicing, then only you can remember. Each and every process have a different, right? So when you started keep on practicing, then the movement types will be, yeah, you can see the transaction code in the OMJJ. You can see all the list of the movement types. Okay. So this is the transaction code to see the movement types list.
Okay.
So movement types you can see, but yeah, but keep on practicing, then you can remember this codes. Okay. And in this case, we are doing a transfer posting to our own stock. Okay, this is goods issue and this is transfer posting. Clear?
Okay.
So you understand, right? So now transfer posting, this is okay. When it is happen, transfer posting, this is the transfer posting here. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
So in this case, what will be happen here? Okay, I can see the stock when it is transferring to my own stock. I can see in my store location level. But when it is moved to goods issue, that is already consumed, so I cannot see. Only I can see only 890, 790 or something like how much 990 or something like. Okay, so I can see the consumer stock, and I can see my own stock store location moved. But when it is consumption, we cannot see in the stock overview. Okay, so where we can see the stock overview. We want to see that how much stock it is available for the in the store location, how we can see in MMBE. This is the MMBE, we can see, or we can see in the MB52 as well. Okay. Okay, so this is toward the stock, we can see. Okay, so these are the reports. Okay, this is a single material. We can see here. We can see multiple materials. Clear?
Mhm.
Okay, so when we have the consumer stock, so there is two ways to move to our own stock. There is two ways to move to a stock. One is either we can do the consumption directly and we'll change the ownership and we'll pay the amount. And if it is moved to transfer posting own stock, then that will be it will be shown on my own store location. So these two ways. So after this one, once you did this two performance, okay. Once you did this one, what will happen? You need to be paid the amount when you are paying a settlement. When you are doing settlement, when you will do the settlement after the goods issue
Goods
or
issue.
transfer posting. Okay, so then only the system will be considering that. Okay, you already transferred the stock to my own stock, so this is the right time to pay amount to the vendor. So I have to pay that amount here. Okay. Color something which you should put somewhere. Okay, and again in this case also you have to pay the amount. Clear? So these two cases, okay, settlement will be happen, right?
Okay.
So this is the, like, if you see that the screen, like here, okay. So consumer stock, from the consumer stock to goods issue or transfer posting, okay. So out of 1,000 quantity, 10 quantity which is moved to production order, okay. Sorry, out of 10 quantity which is a department. So next time if I'm doing for the HR department, suppose let's say I'm doing for the cost center issue, okay. Suppose I'm doing for 90 quantity here, okay. 90 quantity for the own consumption. Okay. In that case, what will be happen here? The stock will be reduced and it will come to 800. Okay. So I can see the same store location, raw material store location. I can see this is my own stock and this is the vendor consumer stock. Okay. So when I see the stock overview, I can see vendor consumer stock separately in the same store location. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So now let's do some practical way how we can do. Okay. So let's go to the plug in the system. Okay. So as we said, the first process should be purchase info record is mandatory. Okay. So what is the transaction code?
ME11.
ME11. Okay. Okay. Now let's assume that the same material. Okay. So same vendor 1,000. Okay. And let's say material number is 100. Okay. And purchase organization is 1,000. Okay. And plan for 1,000. Okay. Now I said right here, when we are creating purchase info record, you also need to be look into that info category consignment.
Okay.
Because this is not a standard purchase info record. So you have to be selected option consignment here.
Okay.
Okay. If you select a standard, then it will not be work for the vendor consignment process, because we can create the same combination for standard purchase order also, or we can do for vendor consignment also. Okay. Or we can do for pipeline, we can do for subcontracting also. Okay. So the same vendor can act as a different roles, different ways, right? The stock. Okay.
Yeah.
So consignment process, I'm just selecting this one. Okay. Now I'm just entering that. Okay. Consignment info record. Okay. Maybe you can enter the material number or something, whatever it is, the description it is. Okay. So the basic information will not be changed from vendor master record or material master info, but okay, maybe the standard quantity will be different, because this is a long-term agreement, right? Like 1 lakh quantity, standard quantity, regular standard quantity is like 1 lakh quantity. Okay, like 10,000 quantity, 20,000 quantity. Standard quantity is like it's regularly how much you are buying. So generally, how much standard quantity which you are buying. Okay. And there is any tolerances or something which you like, we can do. And the one thing which is like here, tax code is very important. Right? So you need to be maintain the tax code here. Okay, and so if it is already there, maybe we can see, because tax procedures, we'll select something like Germany. Okay. Okay, so there is no tax values here. So nobody will not created as of now. Okay. So let's say if it is India, what will be happen? No tax courses. Okay. Okay, if it is US, no tax codes are there. Okay. So maybe they're not created as of now. Okay. Okay, we'll select something where did you remember that yesterday what we selected? Okay, let's see, try something. Okay, so net price. Okay, so while doing info record, vendor consignment info record, what is the price you negotiated with vendor, because you are buying at a time a lot of stock, right? At a time you are buying something like lump sum amount of the quantity. Maybe you can negotiate that. Regularly it is like 100 rupees, but now you can pay. You can negotiate like 99 rupees, 95 rupees, or 90 rupees, like, right? Because we are buying at a time lump sum amount, right? So depends on your client and your vendor how it is like. Maybe you are paying later, right? Maybe the client is vendor is asking that, okay, I just need to be wait for so long time to getting the stock value. So maybe the prices will be different. So I can give it like 110 rupees because standard purchase order I can get the amount immediately, but in the vendor consignment process, maybe we will get later, right? When you are consuming that. So I just need to be waiting period is more, right? So in that case, maybe the vendor can ask some more amount. Depends on that. Okay. So the basic like here, okay, if there is any conditions which is there, you can do. Okay. Here. Now I'm just saving this one. Okay. So now purchase info card which is created. So what is the table name you can see here? Table name is EINE, right? EINE is the table name for at a purchase organization level, or EINE is a at a general data level. Okay. If I just see that this is the info card number. Okay. So or else I can enter all the combinations like here. Material number is 100, material card. Okay. Vendor number is 1000. Okay. 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 So in this general data only material number and vendor number. Okay. So I can see that this is the info record number. But if I go to EINE, it is a purchasing level, purchase organization level data will be so. Okay. So if in this case, suppose my purchase organization is 1000, and I'm not entering that info type here, because I just want to see that how many it is there, how many records it is created. Okay. So the purchase organization and the plant and the info record number, which I have info record number, right? So what is info record number? I'll go ahead display. So this is the my info record number. Okay. So here I just need to show one point here. Okay. The info record number is common, even if it is a standard, or it is a consignment, or it is subcontracting, or it is the pipeline. Okay. The info record number is common, but only category will be changed. Okay. So it will differentiate at the category, standard, consignment, subcontracting, pipeline, like that. Okay. But the info record number will be the same. Okay.
So standard will defaultly create it.
No, it's not default. You have to create, but if it is an info record standard one, then it will be create one entry. If it is you created for vendor consignment, then it is one more entry will be created. If it is subcontracting, one more entry will be created, but the same number will be displayed.
Okay.
The record number will be same, but it is extending to the stock types.
Okay.
Okay, subcontracting and consignment. Okay. So tomorrow, if you visiting the, if you have the info record number also, okay, make sure that you also observe the category, because I'm just saying that tomorrow if the client is asking that I need report, okay, I just need a report for the vendor consignment. I don't need the standard, I need a vendor consignment report. Okay, so in that case, what you need to do, you also need to be check the info record number, and you also need to check the category. Okay, you cannot take the both values. You can take only for the last, because this is the only for consignment. Okay, because in this case might be the purchasing group will be different, and the standard quantity will be different, and price will be different, right? So if you see that the standard 158 rupees and now it is 90 rupees, right? So tax information, all this information will be different. Okay, so when they're asking particularly about the consignment process, then you have to be consider category as info category. Okay, clear? Okay, now I have created the info record number. Okay, make sure this point, the info record number will not change, but category will be updated separately. Okay, if I create a subcontracting again with the same combination, the same number will be generated. Okay, but category will be different. Okay, now I'll be creating a PO, purchase order creation, ME21N, and I'll be going with the vendor. Okay, and I will be using some purchase organization. Okay, I can use some maybe you can use purchase group. Okay, what are the purchase group which you want to go ahead? You can go ahead. Okay, now I will be using the material number. Okay, and
EXW is?
this is Incoterms. Yesterday we maintained in vendor master record, right? Info record, if it is info record and vendor master record, if they maintain Incoterms, that will be. Incoterms is nothing but like a terms and conditions for the
Condition.
suppose freight conditions is there. Suppose okay, freight conditions, whether you are taking care or maybe vendor is saying. Suppose let's say I have 1,000 quantity, I order 1,000 quantity. Okay, for that transportation it is like 500 rupees. Let's assume that 500 rupees. Sometimes how it will be like vendor is saying that okay, I am leave that charge 500 rupees I will pay. Don't pay from your end because it's a free freight, free transportation. Okay, sometimes what will happen, no, transportation charges are very high, you have to pay some transportation charges. Okay, so the Incoterms is like a if it is a majorly it will be like a import process in the import process abroad. Okay, so how you will getting this like free freight, or it may be some okay you need to pay amount on the when you're getting amount, when you're getting the stock. Okay, or you need to pay some customs to the vendor, custom freight vendor. Okay, so some conditions like Incoterms. Okay, clear? So it's like there are so many options like so commonly used trading terms and complete establishment income. So majorly international related, it will be like free on board. Okay, that means the vendor is he is taking the ownership to onboard that stock. That means from his location to my location, he is the onboarding, free on board. Okay, if it's suppose now you have to be aware that means when their responsibility is just dispatching the stock from there to my location when it is coming the stock. So I have to be pay amount everything, maybe for unloading, loading. Okay, and maybe it is coming to the some shipment location, from shipment location to my location. So like okay, if the goods are shipped to the port after departure, the appropriate Incoterms might be like free on board, right? So it's like a majorly to be helpful to the import process, port. Okay, so there is some port related okay information, right? So if you see that if you go to airport, what will be happen? The airport, you can see that there is a two departures. Okay, sorry, two arrivals and two departures. One is for the goods. So goods separately it is there, and for persons if they are traveling, that is a different it's like means it's like goods airlines it is there, goods related separately, and so generally that we call as a something like cargo, yes, it's cargo. Okay, so like that. Okay, so that is the purpose we can maintain this Incoterms. Okay, and I'm just entering the material number and plant. Okay, and so moreover here, one thing which we are missing here, as I said here, when we are creating PO, how system will understood that whether you are going with the standard PO or you are going with the consignment PO. Okay, so based on the item category K. So that item category you should be entered here. Okay, so he is created something here, right? So it's like blank, right? So you need to be selected item category K here. Okay. So in the real time, okay, if it is a standard, you can leave it a blank. If it is a consignment, you have to be selected K. Okay. So when you selected the K, the item category, if you see that the net price which is showing 0 and no tax information here. Okay. So because when the consumer process, we already maintain the price in the as agreement in the info record level, that will be the reference. Okay. Clear? So in internal point of view, there is a question like, is that purchase info record is very important or mandatory? It's mandatory for the vendor consumer process? Yes, obviously it is mandatory because we are maintaining the price and tax information in the info record. We are not maintaining in the PO level. So that information is very important. Okay. So in this case, how much stock, which is like, for suppose I'm planning that 1 lakh quantity. Okay. So that 1 lakh quantity I will be receiving here. Okay. And which store location also you can enter it. Okay, even we are entering the store location, but it is not our own store location stock. It is a vendor consignment. So we're just giving the place. In my store location, I'm just giving the place. Some place I'm allotting for the consignment. Okay, even it is a raw material store location, but I'm just giving some place for the to allotting. So this is a special stock. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just saving this one. Okay, so other things are it is same. If there is a messages, you can maintain the messages, and okay, if there is anything which is there, we can maintain all these things. Okay. Okay, this common process. Okay, it is common process. So here, what is if you condition tab will not be appear here, net price and tax information will not be there. Okay, so save. So PO number it is created. Okay, so how you know that whether it is standard PO or it is a consignment PO? Based on the item category. So if you select item category K, then it is a consignment. So I can see in the table level also, in the EKKO table or EKPO table. Okay, EKKO is the header level, EKPO table is item level. So especially item level, EKPO table, I can see that there is a item category. That item category you can see that, okay, whether this is the vendor consignment process or it is different process. Okay, so where is that consignment here? Just search here. Item category. Okay, so in the item category, so here again the namings will be different. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yesterday we see, right, the matching. So for table level matching will be different, and for standard will be different, right? So it is mapped 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. Okay, so in the table level, if suppose you are writing some report, okay, so you are particularly looking for the consignment POs, so you should not give K, you should give the like 2 to the vendor. Okay, because the technically above coding level, table level, they provided like 2. So 2 and K is the same. Okay, K is a functional way to understanding and 2 is the from technical way. Okay. So I need to select the 2 consignment 2. Okay, vendor consignment 2. And if you have the material number, all this so you can enter all this information. Okay, so what are the information which you have, you can enter. So the material number you can enter, and this is the material description. Material number and the company code, plant, all this information you can enter here. Okay, store location. So what are the information which you have, and when you created all this information you can enter here. Okay, then you can get the proper purchase order number. Okay, so this is the purchase order number which I created. Okay, clear?
Okay.
So now the next step is MIGO, goods receipt.
Okay.
So in the goods receipt, if you see that, I said that even we receiving the stock, but the ownership will not be changed. Okay. So I'm just selecting the goods receipt and the purchase order. Okay. And I'm entering that my PO number. Okay. Then enter. Then if you see that goods receipt and purchase order number, if you select that, okay, based on the purchase order conditions, okay, it will automatically take the K, consignment K. Okay. So if you see that yesterday, if it is blank, now today it is K. Okay. So it especially it is going to this stock, vendor consignment stock. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
So here it is very important. K will be pointing to the vendor consignment stock. So that way, in interview point of view, they will ask about the what is the movement type for the vendor consignment stock when you are receiving the stock. Okay. So that is 101 K. K you have to tell. Okay. Okay. So other than this one, all this information is same. Okay. Nothing change. Okay. So all this information, okay, it will be same. So if you see that here supplying vendor and vendor, it is coming two. Yesterday, if you see that it is coming only one, if it is two, why it is coming two? So as you said, and the partners, if there might be have the vendor separately and goods supplier is good. Okay. If I enter separately here 1100, then it will come here. The goods is the supplier vendor is different in that case. Okay. So if it is the same, then it will display same. If it is a different, then it will be display separately. So what is the meaning of that? The main vendor is 1000, but supplying vendor is different. Yeah, okay. So might be he is a third party, the main vendor. Okay. So imagine he is taking order, but supplying by someone, maybe in the local. Okay. So in this case, he is the one person and he is the one person. Both are the partners. Okay. He is the supplying vendor is the partner for 1000 vendor. Okay. So that is the partner function that is. Okay. So other than that, everything is same. You can say okay, I'm good. Okay. Then check. Okay. And post. Okay. So now here yesterday, if you comparing that, the standard normal purchase order, when we receiving the stock, there is a two documents will be generated. One is material document, one is for the accounting document. But in this case, only material document is posted, but no FI document here. So if you can see that there is no FI document which is posted.
There is no accounting.
No accounting because the ownership still it is not changed. Okay. So there is no entry in the financial accounting related table level. Only in the MSEG and MKPF tables will be updated. So GR level, if you want to see the stock, okay. So if GR level, if you want to see the GR document number, okay, you can go to MKPF table or MSEG table. Okay. MKPF is a header level and MSEG table is item level. Okay. This is the table names. Okay. Okay. So here also it's the same, which is like MKPF and MSEG. So all stock movements will be the same table. Okay. So goods issue, transfer posting, what could be happen? It is the same table. So then how you can differentiate? How you can differentiate then? If it is a same table, okay.
Moment type 201.
Moment type, yeah. So the moment type wise we can see that. Okay. And even sometimes what will happen, the number range will be different for transfer posting. The number range is for different for the goods issue. Okay. If you see that is 66007, right? If I did something which is like transfer posting, there might be different number ranges. Okay. Okay. So now I can see the stock. Where we can see the stock?
MKP.
Stock, where we can see the stock. Not table level. Table level, we cannot see the stock here. In the MKPF table, MSEG table, it is for the material document number. Okay. So material document display. Okay. Not
MMB.
Stock. MMB, right? This is MMB. So I have to go MMB. Okay. And I need to check that the same material number. Okay. And the plan. If I just generated that. Okay. Maybe you can enter the store location also, no problem. Okay. Multiple store location with me. So if you see that 1 lakh quantity is showing in the vendor consumer stock, that means as you here, this is the box. Okay. This is the separate stock. It is displaying. Okay. It is showing directly in the store location. Then that is the own stock. If it is showing separately in the vendor consumer stock, it's not my own stock, it is a vendor consumer stock. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Okay, so if you see 0088, so this is 10,000. Is it own stock or it is vendor consumer stock?
Own stock.
It's your own stock. Okay, so if it is showing in the vendor consumer stock, then it is a vendor consumer stock. Okay, clear? So here in this case, what will be happen? 9,573 stock, it is there in the this store location, and 1 lakh quantity is there in the vendor consumer stock. Okay, so this stock is different, this stock is different. Okay, now let's assume that I need some stock. Okay, so to consuming the stock, goods issue to consumption stock. So what I'm doing here, goods issue, okay, with others, okay, and I'm just selecting that 201K. Okay, so 201K I have to select here. Okay, then I'll be entering that what material number it is like. So suppose I have material number 100. Okay, and how much stock it is like, suppose let's say 1,000 quantity. Okay, and I just need to check that, okay, which plant it is and which store location it is. Okay, so 0001 store locations. Okay, then also you need to be entered that which vendor also. Okay, whose stock this is. Maybe I have multiple vendor stocks, right? Vendor consumer stocks. So which vendor stock it is need to be selected. Okay, and moreover, since it is 201, we are going to consummate cost center. Okay, you also need to be entered the cost center number. Which cost center number you have to be. Okay, so there might be have the multiple cost centers which we have. Okay, so we can select that from here. Okay, so maybe you can say some HR department or finance department. Okay, you can select like this one. Okay. Okay, so and check. Okay, so version 0 is not defined. Okay, this is something which is for the cost center. Okay, so there should be some cost centers related because we are doing first time, right? So there might be we'll get so many issues. Okay, we'll see. Cost centers it is 0 version and setting for each fiscal year. Yeah. Okay, so there is some error which is coming. So this is a problem actually. So some of them which is not properly activated, and again will get problem. Okay, so use inconsistency. So 110 it is not done. So it is checking something which is like. It will not allow. So either maybe we have to do some different way. What we did yesterday, the same way we have to do here. First of all, it will not be allow anything here. So what we can do here, we'll check the table name. We have to check the table name also. It is not allowing here. Okay, so we'll do tomorrow this one. Okay, so I have other meetings. So.
Okay.
So there might be how to set up something controlling. So finance, this is a completely finance related. Okay, it's not our job. Okay, but in the generally in the standard, maybe in the regularly, there will not be any issue. Okay, because you have the finance team separately, you have all the departments you have, but here there is no other people, right? So we have to check that the configuration for the finance cells side, and we have to rectify that. Okay, so I will just check this one, and I will come back to you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll start.